gondola down, scaled 6 times. Sono spaccato. Spaccato in due.
When Stratton becomes Everest, digging deep and overcoming darkness, what I call seeking zenith. October 2018, Vermont, USA. The mission: within 36 hours, scale Stratton Mountain 17 times, the equivalent height of Mount Everest, 29,029 feet. Hike up, gondola down, fuel up, avoid injury, repeat. We're going to tap into something that we didn't know we had. We're here to tap into a reserve tank. Jesse Itzler. The 40% rule was first explained to me by Jesse Itzler, the 29.029 event founder. When we think we've given our all, we've only given 40% of our max capacity. When our brain tells us to stop because we've done enough or that we can't handle it anymore, it is simply the beginning. Acknowledge that, take it as a cue, and dig deeper. This was the main objective of this 36-hour event. We were there to tap into the reserves that we are unaware that we possess, mentally and physically. With every step, we get one step closer. We just keep chipping. We finish one. We turn around. There's no decision. We go back up. We finish one. There's no decision. Jesse Itzler. The first 5 ascents were overwhelming, as this was my first ultra event and I was unaware how to properly fuel my body. I was under the impression that I would be able to function with a few bananas and some water. Wrong. Way wrong. Thankfully, I scaled ascents 4 and 5 with my new friend and ultra athlete Paul Zaney. At the end of our second ascent together, I was struggling to keep pace with Paul. My head started spinning and I was close to vomiting. Paul gave me a couple nutrition tips and made it clear that the banana idea probably wasn't the greatest. I got some food, took an hour break to rest my legs and recharge the batteries. At this point, I was fairly discouraged. I wasn't convinced that I would be able to finish. I had Everest in front of me. Babe, you suck? My wife. When I got back from my hour break, having only completed 7 ascents to date, well behind the pack leaders, Emanuela, my wife, who had come with me to cheer me on, asked in an innocent but blunt fashion, "Babe, you suck?" Well, that was exactly what I needed to hear to get me going again. Taking offense to that question, I chugged some pickle juice, swallowed a banana, and headed back out. No, I don't suck. 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8, 8 becomes double digits, and we keep going until the finish is in sight. Jesse Itzler. Although I ascended the mountain solo during numerous ascents, thankfully I did complete a handful of ascents with various fellow athletes who were all extremely friendly and supportive. After 16 hours of hard work on the opening day, with 11 ascents under my belt, I decided to get some rest for the night and knock out the remaining 6 ascents the next day, starting early in the morning and finishing before the 6 p.m. cutoff on Saturday evening. Having completed the 11 ascents, after an initial slow start, had me feeling really good, and I was on pace to complete this event with ease. However, once I sat down, the nagging pinch in my leg that I was trying to ignore began throbbing. I figured that I'd apply some cream, change into some fresh clothes, and hopefully sleep it off. It was past midnight by the time that I crawled into my tent. I remember being scared to get up. I had my alarm set for 6 a.m., but I woke up much earlier than that. The pain was still there and appeared to have intensified. I applied more cream and had a seat on a recliner chair inside the chalet at 5 a.m. With minimum sleep, increasing leg pain, and 6 ascents left to conquer, I was sitting with compression leg wraps on, staring at the mountain through the exterior glass wall of the chalet. It was pitch black out, and I remember being scared to get up. In the darkness, fear had overcome me. I was already preparing the story in my head that I would tell others, explaining why I couldn't complete all 17 ascents. I did my best, but I got injured. What can you do? Maybe next time, I guess. But that didn't sound right. It didn't feel right. I knew it didn't. The clock was ticking, the gondola was running, but the fear was still there. I continued to stare into the darkness. Either work hard, or you might as well quit. MC Hammer. The mountain overtaken by darkness, my mind overtaken by fear. I sat in the recliner chair for more than 2 hours, nervously staring at my Everest. I was working hard on transforming my excuses into justifications. At this time, other athletes began to enter the chalet, having pulled an all-nighter and completing the 17 ascents. I then realized that the finishers were awarded a wooden plank with the words Stratton, Vermont, 29029 finisher seared into it. I had no idea they were giving out these wooden planks to the finishers, but once I found out, I told myself, no way am I not going to get an award that they are handing out. No way am I going to leave here without one of those. This is exactly what I needed to reprogram my mindset. Looking back, it seems silly that a wooden plank was what got me up out of the chair, but it did. I wasn't missing a wooden plank at home, nor did I really need one. I had simply made the decision that I wasn't going to be left behind. Whatever it takes, I was going to get there. Would the ambulance be able to ascend the mountain? At 7 a.m., I headed out. I had 11 hours remaining to complete 6 ascents. At that point, my average time was 90 minutes per ascent. I now had 110 minutes to complete each remaining ascent with leg pain but a newfound determination. I told myself, if I have to crawl up this mountain 6 more times, I will. Nothing was going to stop me. If I ran out of time, then so be it. If they would have to call an ambulance, then so be it. The ambulance would have to figure a way to come get me on the mountain. I began ascents numbers 12 and 13 with a limp, dragging my injured leg, trying to avoid pain and further injury at all costs. Surprisingly, as I began ascent number 14, I realized that my leg felt fine, my body felt fine, and most importantly, I was in the right mindset. I found my stride and decided to ditch the limp. No stress, no issues, no worries. I was enjoying myself, and I had gotten used to the mountain's terrain and incline. Nothing seemed painful or difficult anymore. And just like that, one after the other, ascents 14, 15, and 16 were knocked out like clockwork. Before beginning the final 17th ascent, athletes' white bibs were replaced with red bibs, signifying that the final ascent was in progress. 1 foot in front of the other, hiking poles in hand, shoes covered in mud, I passed one checkpoint after the other, and it was smooth sailing to the top. My wife, accompanied by our 5-month-old son, was waiting for me at the finish line with my sister and Jesse Itzler. Congratulations and pictures ensued. For you light my lamp, the Lord my God illumines my darkness. King David, Psalm 18. More than 3 years after the event, these moments and lessons have not left me, and I continually tap back into them to remind myself that celebrations often come after trials of pain and patience. The road to success is rarely straight, and in our darkest moments, digging deep through the valley is what is most important. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. King David, Psalm 23.
With an hour to spare. 35 hours.